Mark by OverClocking-TV. Again, we're with AMD, this time the division formerly known as ATI. Along with us we have Devon. Hello Devon.
Nice to be here.
Devon, you have a really nice card here, I must say quite huge one. Can you please present it a bit?
Sure. This is the new high-end graphics card that we're putting out. It's the AMD Radeon HD 6990. And what this is a dual GPU product. So this is two Cayman XT GPUs on here. We clock them 830 megahertz. Board itself has 4 gigs of GDDR5. That's 2 gigs per GPU. In terms of power consumption, the board has two 8-pin power connectors. So under stock speeds, without any overclocking, the board's going to use about 375 watts.
First question then about this fantastic new product, or in general about AMD. When changing from AMD to ATI, there was a bit of from ATI to AMD, pardon me, there's a bit of name confusion. Is there any logic that you skipped the model number, or is it just to state now we're AMD and we're not ATI anymore?
So I assume you're referring to the introduction of the 6800 series and 6900 series. So with that introduction, if you look at our traditional naming scheme, what we do is we traditionally call our sweet spot products the 800 series. If you look back to the 3800 series, the 4800 series, these are very sweet spot products. With the introduction of the 5000 series, it was a bit of an anomaly. It changed a little bit because the 5800 series was actually a much higher end product. So going back into the 6000 series, we just kind of reset things, and the 800 series is back to being that sweet spot, that $200 US product, and the enthusiast products are coming in as the 900 series past that.
Thank you. Unfortunately, I don't really know the code name of this product, but it's the successor of the Hemlock, the old dual GPU. The Hemlock was a locked design. People were not, vendors were not allowed to do a non-reference design because it was not unlocked. What is AMD's point of view on this board? Will it be unlocked or will it be locked and all rights reserved to AMD?
So actually on the Hemlock product, on the HD 5970, we did have 3 partners come out with custom designs. There was a Sapphire 5970 4 gig Toxic, there was an XFX Secret Weapon, and there was an ASUS Aries board. And these were very exclusive, very high-end, high-power, high-performance boards that they came out with.
But what we've heard so far from ASUS, Gigabyte and MSI was that those cards are actually not made from Hemlock, they were made from two 5870. So I'm wondering if it will be the actual design that they'll get all the details, or what will happen if they have to use 2 of the smaller GPUs, or not actually the same GPUs, but 2 of the other cards and make a custom out of that, or they'll get the direct technology from the bigger card.
So what you'll see is at launch, you'll see our reference design be the product that's out in the market. We're definitely open to AIBs bringing out their own designs, bringing out their own custom coolers or boards. I can't pre-announce any of my partners' products here today, but just like we had on the 5970, we do open up if there's opportunity to create unique SKUs.
Great. One of the things that I've been looking at, should just show the viewers, there's 2 8-pins. So which kind of maximum consumption does this deliver without being overclocked?
So at stock speeds, this draws 150 watts from each 8-pin power connector. Total board power is going to be about 375 watts under load at stock speeds. So
it's basically maxing out the design.
Correct.
Okay, perfect.
Interesting though. What we have on this board, similar to the rest of the 6900 series, we do have a dual BIOS switch on this board. So what this does is it lets us ship the default configuration at 375 watts. In addition to that, if users do want to overclock or tweak, what we do with this switch is we offer a hardware overdrive option. So with this switch, when you move it from the default configuration to the OC configuration, it's going to raise your voltage from 1.12 to 1.175. It's going to raise your clock from 830 to 880, and it's going to raise your power tune limits, so you can really get much more performance out of this thing.
It won't probably matter for core viewers, but some of the new viewers might be interested. Will it void the warranty, or will it be fully covered even if you turn the switch?
Any sorts of overclocking, whether it's using the switch or software, is outside of the AMD warranty.
Is there any other new exciting products or products line you're capable of telling us about, such as if we should expect Q3, Q4 for a new generation? Any words?
Sorry, I can't comment on future roadmap or unannounced products.
About this new card, will there be a short term of which there won't be custom designs, or will the customs arrive already from the start?
What you'll see is at launch, you'll see the reference design be the only board out there. Obviously, we're open to partners doing their own designs if they decide there's something unique they want to do. But at launch, the reference design will be the only one out there.
Devin, another thing I was wondering, at the moment it's clear that AMD has a power advantage over NVIDIA. Simply the single GPU, and therefore also the dual GPU solution consumes less power. I'm wondering, how come that AMD has not used this as an advantage to push forward the drivers to use the full mighty 8 GPUs and go with four-way Crossfire X using dual cards?
A lot of that's just based on the performance you can get out of it, and most of our focus is on the most intensive games in the market. So when we look at how many GPUs to support in Crossfire, we see 2 of these cards, or 4 of our Cayman GPUs, is enough to drive pretty much any game out there at Affinity resolutions at something like 60 frames per second. Now, that's not to say there's no benefit to more GPUs. Obviously, things like synthetics or benchmarks are going to definitely show improvement going to 8 GPUs. Our main focus is on just delivering things that will give gamers the best performance and the best experience there. So it's definitely something that we're always looking at, but right now there's no support for anything above 4.
But the thing is, on the single GPU side, the second generation of Fermi, the GTX 580, is clearly the strongest single GPU solution, as well as the premium price of it. But it's the strongest solution. However, it uses so much power that it cannot be implanted. It's the highest clock on a single PCB and a single graphic card. It's very hard for enthusiasts to understand how come they cannot get the premium performance, the highest in 3D Mark Advantage and 3D Mark 11 with ATI, when they actually have the low power consumption. Therefore, it would be allowed. Would it be something worth for AMD to take into consideration in order to get the PR value, nevertheless, of having the top performance possible on the market?
Yeah, so one of the things that we do on this card, you mentioned that there's a power advantage with our GPUs, and one of the things we're doing on this is giving end users the ability to run at the full Cayman XT or HD 6970 clock speeds and voltages. So we do have a lot of technology in here that's going to mean in that 375 or 450 watt envelope, you're going to be able to get the full dual GPU experience. Our power efficiency means we don't have to really reduce parts of the chip or turn down speeds or turn down functional units. So from a dual GPU perspective, this thing is going to be the full-blown dual 6970 solution.
And just before the interview, you mentioned something about the GPUs used. Can you please tell us about the leakage?
Sure. So what we do on this board, we screen these ASICs. These are obviously our highest end products. They're the fastest graphics cards in the world. And what we do, we put aside and sometimes even hand screen the best ASICs that we can find. So they are Cayman XT ASICs, the same GPUs that we use on the HD 6970. What we do is we screen them for high speed. We screen them for the full functional blocks. It's how they pass as 6970 GPUs. But we also take the low leakage parts. So what this means is that when you're trying to deliver high voltages, high clock speeds out of a board, with the low leakage parts, they're going to waste less power. So you're going to have more of that power going to actually delivering performance and higher real clock speeds and useful metrics.
And that also, for the record, means less heat. Thank you for your time. It was a pleasure.
Excellent.